Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. We're back again with more Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Let's get into it. Take the portal up. And where are we? Ah, yes. Okay. Puzzle time, I believe. Yeah, the first. Okay, nothing there. Alright, let me see if I remember how to do this. Oh yeah, you gotta turn the little blocks. Whoops. There we go.
Open your heart to me.
We should move.
Get on out, chow. God dog it. I had it. And now it's gone. It is what it is. There we go. Ooh, 2 for 1.
The goddess protects us.
I'll take it.
It's time to act.
And you. Excellent.
I am never wrong.
And there we go. Welcome Respite. Heavy armor. Whenever the wearer of this +5 banded armor is attacked in melee while being prone, stunned, or staggered, the attacker must pass a reflex saving throw or suffer the same condition for 2 rounds. In addition, this armor grants its wearer immunity to fire and acid. And you are wearing what? +3 armor. How is it +5? Oh, because it's not mithril. I was about to say, it's the same armor class and less max dexterity? It's just all wrong. Alright, I guess we won't be switching up to that. Do I have anybody else who... No, nobody else wears heavy armor. Jeez. That's unfortunate. Alright. Moving right along. Oh, is there anything up here? I don't think so. Nope, we're all good. Okay, cool. There goes another portal. First time here, a fearsome-looking succubus steps forward, blocking your path. Are you sure you're welcome here? This is the harem of ardent dreams, the palace of Shamira, chief demoness of this city. After Nocticula, of course. But when did Nocticula ever care about our petty concerns? Bottom line, this palace belongs to the person who really runs everything around here. Got it? How does a feeble guard like you expect to stop someone who has vanquished hordes of demons on Golarion? Was that meant to scare me? Sure, I've heard there's a massacre happening on Golarion, but how am I to know you have anything to do with it? Until I see blood on your hands, you remain nothing but a pompous stranger. I wish to enter. The demon shrugs. You are known in the city. I don't think Shamira would deny you an audience. Come in. Ooh, it didn't work that way last time. I had to fight my way in. I wonder what I did differently. All right. Notes on ripped paper. Major. Huh. So I'll have to look at that later. Okay. A red-haired, beautiful demon sits majestically on the throne, an aura of bright light blazing around her. It's not gentle. It's not the gentle, life-giving light that shines on Golarion. This light blinds, withers, makes a person burn with fever, draining their strength. And who do we have here? The latest wanderer from another world coming to seek my patronage? Less of your arrogance. You have no idea what powers I command. Shamira just shrugs, looking bored. No matter what powers you possess, I doubt they would impress me more than the two Bay Lords who started a fight in the middle of the city and whom I had to force into obedience. I doubt you would be a match for an infuriated monolith robbed by some cunning thief. Negotiating with you will hardly be more difficult than negotiating with the unknown monster that emerged from Ishiar and planned to devour this whole island in a single gulp. If you seek to impress me, you'll have to do something more than just boasting about your powers. I have a few questions. With a sigh, Shamira hisses irritably under her breath. Curse Nocticula's hospitality for bringing these strangers from other planes to my city and my harem. I want to know more about Nocticula. Pursing her lips in a smug smile, Shamira answers with venom in her voice. What exactly are you expecting to hear from me, beyond what any other residents of Alan Shinra could tell you? Yes, I am closer to Nocticula than anyone else, but do you really think I'll spill her secrets to you? Our Lady in Shadow doesn't like to be discussed behind her back, and the scope of her realm, the entire Midnight Isles, proves that her anger can be extremely dangerous. She is worshipped on many planes, including Golarion, right? At night, she sometimes comes to insane rapists and murderers and paints in their minds pictures of immortality and horror, masterpieces of lust and despair. She is the first succubus, the most powerful and most seductive, the murderer of countless demon lords and usurper of their abyssal realms. Over the bodies of her victims, she climbed to unbelievable heights, and now she stands far above her lonesome brother, Sokoth-Banath. Thus, she has proved her victories were gained not just by the means of her power, but also by her great intelligence and willpower. She was beautiful, strong, and free. It sounds like the beginning of a fairy tale, Camellia says thoughtfully. What kind of a harem is this? Shamira snaps irritably. What do you think? Because I am Shamira, the ardent dream, the chosen lover of the great Nocticula, every time she grows wary of plots and conspiracies and craves wild passions and warm caresses, she comes here to our harem. Doesn't the word harem mean a group of individuals always ready to copulate with the master or mistress of the harem? The name should accurately describe the function of the establishment. For instance, residents of a former angel intended for the copulation between the above-mentioned angel girl and Lady Nocticula, which also performs the functions of a city hall. I've seen you with Hepzibah at the flesh markets. Tell me about her. Hepzibah is an honored guest here in Alan Shinra. I am not going to discuss her with every stranger I meet. How did you achieve such a high standing? You don't know my story. This explains why you're not on your knees before me. I was once a celestial being, and my fiery wings carried me from the upper planes to insignificant little worlds like your Golarion. I gifted fantasies and dreams, kindled flames in the wild minds of dreamers, and I loved it. Sometimes these fantasies took shapes too daring and unbridled, or so it seemed to me, but I made no effort to stop it. A dream is a bird, not a horse. You can't restrain it, you can only hurt it with your reins. The dreams I sowed were becoming more daring, bolder, and with them, I was changed as well. One day, I rejected the limits imposed on me by my masters. In the world I was visiting, a wildfire of dreaming broke out. A dream so daring and bold, it could come to fruition only through great atrocities and monstrous, immoral deeds. I could have stopped it, but I didn't. I was mesmerized by this great vision. I didn't return to my world, as I would not be accepted. Instead, I descended into the abyss, looking for someone who would truly appreciate me and the dreams that I bestow. Nocticula noticed my flame blazing over the dark waters of the ocean. She came for me and shrouded me in her shadows. That night was very memorable. Since then, I have served her and have been her closest friend and her right hand. I have no more questions. Shamira responds with an icy smile. I was happy to satisfy your curiosity, you unknowing and talkative mortal. I came here seeking your patronage. Shamira looks you up and down with a contemptuous expression, then answers with a scoff. So what use can you be to me, you foolish little mortal? The most powerful demons serve me. What can your pitiful self offer me that they can't? In your mind, Shamira's voice sounds calmer, though it is still arrogant. In truth, there is one thing you can help me with, Golarion, but the others mustn't know about it. Work for me, and I'll grant you a share of my attention and patronage. No doubt you have already heard of Nahindrian crystals, objects of astonishing power that grant their owner incredible abilities. Everyone in Alan Shinra knows they exist, but no one knows what they are or where to get them. No one except for that smug cow Aasimar. I want you to find out what they are. My advice is to start searching in that pile of refuse known as the lower city. Ask for the Forian, my predecessor, now a beggar. If that pathetic wretch is still alive, he may know something. Now go, and don't bother returning until you have the information I need. Here, take my mark, so the archer near my palace will let you in. I don't want to waste my time waiting while you wind your way back through the streets of my city with valuable information. Your pack becomes a bit heavier, as if some new item has appeared inside it. The hand of the inheritor addresses you, an undercurrent of alarm in his words. I see greed in the eyes of this fiend. She is ready to offer you a deal, and I sense that more than idle interest lies behind it. We both know Nahindrian crystals can make demons immensely powerful. We are pursuing Aasimar to prevent her from creating and unleashing upon us an army of mythical monsters transformed by these crystals. Yet, if you reveal the secret of the crystals to Shamira, we risk simply trading one enemy for another. Our mission demands that we make concessions, but it does not mean we must blindly obey every demon's request. Weigh each of Shamira's words. Remember how cunning she is, and do not let her turn you into a tool she can use to commit atrocities. Armor your heart, and do only what you must, not what she, with all her promises and charms, will try to convince you to do. And be prepared to find a knife in your back at any moment. So you and Aasimar aren't friends, I take it? In your mind, Shamira's voice answers with an arrogant scoff. Be friends with that miserable cow? Of course not. I'm courting her to learn her secrets, but it's a constant struggle not to put her in her place. Baphomet's minions are far too bold here in Alan Shinra. Tell me about these crystals you're so interested in. You haven't heard of Nahindrian crystals? Are all Golarions so stupid and unobservant? They are purple crystals. Possessing them grants immense power. Unfortunately, only high-ranking servants of Baphomet know where to find them or how to use them. They use the crystals to gain tremendous power, and now they strut around Alan Shinra like they own the place. Why should I look for Zephorian? When I first heard about the crystals, it reminded me of the last days of Zephorian's rule. He was Nocticula's right hand before me. He was plotting a coup, and I was spying on him to turn him into Nocticula and take his position. I remember that he was trying to get his hands on a purple crystal of some kind, and that he eventually succeeded. I didn't pay much attention at that time, but the current situation makes me think perhaps it was a Nahindrian crystal he was after. If so, Zephorian might know something about them. Where should I look for Zephorian? There is a note of disgust in Shamira's voice. In the depths. If he is still alive, the gravity of Nocticula's punishment would have dragged him to the very bottom of Alan Shinra. Dig through the garbage, talk to the vagrants and beggars. You surely don't expect me to do it, do you? Why did you choose me for this mission? Shamira answers with an exasperated sigh. Because you are neither a demon nor a resident of Alan Shinra. You are a wildcard, an insignificant Golarion. No one is interested in your exploits, and you will not draw any unnecessary attention. You are not bound in service to any demon, and therefore, if you dig up any information, you will bring it to the one who will pay you the most for it. That is to say, me. You won't run to your master because you don't have one, at least not here in the Abyss. If I gave this task to one of my servants, I could be sure of only one thing, that they would sell the information about my interest to my enemies, and then, if they learned anything about the crystals, they would use this information to benefit themselves instead of bringing it to me. Everything is clear to me. Wonderful, because this conversation is beginning to bore me. I have to go. Go now, and come back when you have something useful. My time is precious, and I can't waste it on every mortal who fancies a chat. Again, highlighting why I like this act so much. Like, she's been here for a long time before you got here. She doesn't care that you're the commander in Golarion. She's not even... No, she's probably sure that that's the truth. She probably knows who you are. But it means nothing to her. She has her own life to live, her own goals, and they have nothing to do with your petty accomplishments. Uh-huh.
You can trust me. I am helpful, am I not?
I think these little things are supposed to be about some sort of conspiracy that's happening here with a particular group. But it's never worked properly, or at least I've never been able to do this to finish it. I need to put some more effort into that and try to figure out how to get that achievement. This is probably something I'm doing wrong as opposed to it just not being available. Do upstairs there. I beg you, kind sir, give me a moment of your time. A thin Aasimar, good breeding apparent in every line of his aristocratic face, addresses you. Greetings and welcome to this dismal place. My name is Latverk, and I ask for your help. I beg you, show mercy, not toward me, but toward these young and innocent maidens. They are my wards, and they were unfortunate enough to be abducted by demons. Serenray herself bestowed a revelation upon me, which prompted me to settle here and aid my brethren doomed to a dark and cruel fate. But my strength is all gone. I swear it. I need assistance now more than ever. Aasimar women drift out of the house, standing like silent shadows behind Latverk. The faces of many of the women are covered in scars, and their gazes are cold, as if numbed by suffering and despair. Soseo nods with encouragement and sympathy. Just keep holding on, friend. This is a mad place inhabited by mad creatures. But that makes your work all the more important. The disadvantaged and needy here have no one else to turn to. How may I be of assistance? Freeing enslaved Aasimars has become my trade, you see. These women are former captives whom I saved from the monster's clutches, and I protect them to the best of my ability. But I've heard a new shipment of slaves is about to arrive in the flesh markets, and there's nothing I can do to break their shackles. Please do it in my stead. Please buy their freedom and send the women here. I can see that you are a traveler of means. A single act of kindness should not inconvenience you excessively, but will be forever indebted to your compassionate soul. Such a kind and generous soul is a true rarity in the abyss. We ought to help him, champion, not just to save the poor slave women, but also to strengthen his faith in the righteousness of the path he has chosen. How did these Aasimar women end up in the abyss? The abyss hungers for new slaves, so it sends countless raiding parties to other planes to stave off its cravings. These poor young women were captured on Golarion. I've never seen anything viler than those ruthless thrall hunters prowling in search of defenseless victims, sniffing out the weak to enslave, clamping collars around their necks. Where can I find these captives? As far as I know, the thrall hunters were hired by a slave trader named Dyunk, a hideous demon utterly lacking in morals. I'm sure you'll find him at the flesh markets, gleefully counting the coins from selling his cattle. Why don't you buy their freedom yourself? The man sighs and throws up his hands. Alas, I simply cannot afford such an expense. My meager income is spent on buying the freedom of these poor souls. When demons see an Aasimar customer, they raise the price and conspire to keep me from purchasing anyone. In their eyes, the glee of thwarting me is worth the lost profits. Why did they bring these Aasimar women to the abyss? It pains me to say this, but I can think of only two options, and both are equally terrible. Perhaps they will be sold to the 10,000 delights, a filthy whorehouse where corrupt souls indulge in the most immoral and vulgar of pleasures. The other option is even worse. I've heard Shamira, the mistress of Alan Shinra, is a former celestial from the upper planes who once served the Everlight. This partly explains Shamira's irrational hatred of Aasimars. They say she buys my kinsfolk and takes them to her harem of ardent dreams, where she tortures them without mercy. Then she dines on their flesh. A monster. I see. I'm placing my trust in you. The lives of these unfortunate young women are in your hands. I could use a little help myself. The Aasimar throws up his hands in confusion. I fear there's little I could do to help, but please accept this gift. You have a martial look about you, and I have no doubt you make good use of it. The man hands you a flask with a healing potion. Then he hides his hands behind his back to show he does not expect payment for his generosity and will refuse it if offered. May I spend the night in your home? I am very sorry. I would gladly shelter you, but there is no room in my home. My wards and I barely have room as it is, and we live in abject poverty. Moreover, the women need to feel safe so they can heal. They need to be surrounded by familiar faces and protected from even the slightest hint of danger. Letting armed strangers stay in our home would bring back traumatic memories, and it would be cruel under the circumstances. Please accept my sincere apologies. I have a few questions. I do not doubt this. You could hardly have expected to meet a member of my race in the Abyss. Besides, the very nature of my calling, which is dictated by both altruism and compassion, must seem strange and unnatural in this place. I am used to questions and will gladly provide whatever answers I can. How do you survive in this place? The Aasimar gives a stoic sigh. It isn't easy. My ancestry alone enrages demons and makes them want to try to do me harm. There have been numerous attempts on my life, and they have often tried to destroy the house where I shelter my wards. Nocticula's strict ban on harming visitors from other planes may protect me from the claws and blades of my malevolent neighbors, but it is powerless to keep them from spitting at my feet, scrawling profanities on the walls of my house, or endlessly plotting against me. What are you doing here? I had a revelation sent by the merciful Serenray. I realized I must ascend to this grim place and bear witness to its countless terrors so that I might aid those in distress. When I first visited the flesh markets, I saw young women, my kin, locked up in cages. They had been abducted from a different plane and put up for sale like goods or livestock. So I immediately purchased their freedom and brought them here. I've been freeing Aasimar women who ended up in Alan Shinra ever since. I wish I could do more. This place is teeming with tormented souls, but alas, there's a limit to my abilities, not to mention my financial means. Why do you help only women? Because they are weaker. Their refinement, innocence, and beauty make them an attractive target for derision and torment. At least a man could go down fighting when his patience runs out. Most of the young women I met were denied this final escape from the horror due to physical or spiritual weakness. I wish my Lady Iomedae could hear these words. There's a small chuckle in the angel's voice. This mortal must be kind-hearted yet blind if he perceives spiritual weakness in those who often accomplish feats, both great and small, without a sword in hand, with nothing except passion and dedication. What happened to your wards? They survived truly monstrous abuses. The demons showed no mercy, subjecting these unsullied flowers to abuse and torture. Disgusted by their beauty and purity, the brutes trample their innocence into the dirt. I tend to their physical wounds, but their hearts bleed still. They have withdrawn into themselves. They do not speak, not even to me. I hope one day I'll be able to return them to some semblance of a normal life and send them home. I have no more questions. The Aasimar gives a pleasant nod. I'm glad I was able to satisfy your curiosity. I have to go. May Serenray's healing light shine upon you, kind sir. All right, let me check something real quick. As for these, that's still on, plenty of time. Okay. Is it up here? It's up here. All right, first of all, you have to do that. And
Sorry.
oh, God dog it. I'm save scumming that. I need that. I don't know what the heck is going on with those slots, but I'm going to figure it out at some point during this playthrough. And something tells me I need to pass those religion checks in order to be able to do it.
I am truly sorry.
Are you serious? What is the problem? So sale. Ooh, 37. Ooh, that's no joke. Okay, wait. Wait a minute. That's no joke at all. Boom. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. You got something that helps you, right? We'll turn on this. And it's this, right? Yep, here we go. Give yourself a little bit of luck, sir.
I'm rather proud of
There we go. That's it. So I assume I gotta find something that'll fit into that slot. But where? Something to think about at another time.
your heart, not your eyes.
That's all good. You. Uh-huh. There we go. Okay. Save. Alright, there's a fight up here that I really want to do, but we need to be absolutely at full strength before we do it, so I'm going to wait. For now, we'll go ahead and head back. Pick out those Aasimar slaves that he was talking about. Actually, we don't need to head all the way back, right? I believe we should have a doorway to the flesh markets. And flesh markets, hey. Just like that, we're back. Okay.
We do it my way.
So now go over here, over here, over here. And the game is airing out. You cannot see them, but it's basically a succubus talking with the slave trader. A grotesquely fat demon speaks to a demoness standing in front of him, his voice irritated yet slightly sycophantic. If you want to get these sweet Aasimars for the 10,000 delights, cough up 50,000. Just look at how delicious they are. These girls haven't yet been whipped. Your clients will be clamoring for them, and after they become too worn out, they'll make a magnificent stew. I'll give you 30 if you stop talking rubbish, Dyunk. Or keep going, and you can steer clear of my palace of delights. You can pleasure yourself on your own, you fat chunk of rotten meat. Do you want to get on Chivarro's bad side? Do you really want that? The Aasimar slaves standing nearby try to avoid looking at the angry demoness. Even in their miserable position, they retain the mark of inner purity and nobility inherent to their kind. Puffing himself up, the fat demon answers abruptly and angrily. 50,000 for these delightful, innocent creatures your shabby and worn-out demonesses can't hope to compete with. That is my final offer. Stay away from the 10,000 delights. You can have your own little morsels pleasure you from now on, you greedy, horny piece of shit! The disgustingly fleshy demon greets you with a wave, his arm encased in roll after roll of fat. Allow me to present my living wares, the finest household slaves to serve you and entertain your body and spirit, and they can satiate even the most exquisite cravings. The demon accompanies his last claim with voluptuous lip smacking, looking pleased. Show me what you have for sale. Just feast your eyes on them. The most exquisite pleasure slaves, raised in comfort and luxury, at your service. They are well trained, neat, docile, and stand ready to become ideal servants for your manor. All of them are young and healthy in a perfect state of rightness. The demon bursts into sickening cackling and then whispers to you confidentially, of course, we have made sure that their tender flesh meets the expectations of even the most demanding gourmet. They have no inkling of what awaits them, so you need not worry about fear spoiling the meat, making it tough and bitter. Beautiful, athletic, and well-groomed young men and women of different races smile sweetly at you. Their cheerful looks aren't marred by the slightest hint of intelligence. These slaves remind you of happy and well-fed sheep grazing in the pasture. The slaver's eyes widen and he starts to speak, nearly hyperventilating. Just recently, one of my slave hunting crews returned, bringing me a most beautiful gift. A group of young, fresh, pure Aasimar girls, full of mouth-watering innocence. All of them are beauties in their prime, caught with the utmost care, unwounded. Shamira will take an interest in them, I wager. Because of her origin, she loves having her fun with Aasimars. There are countless ways one can use such a valuable acquisition, though, if you ask me, the smartest way is to treat yourself to a medium rare fillet with rich, meaty gravy. The Aasimar women look pale and scared, but even in captivity, they manage to retain their dignity and refuse to let the demons savor their fear. As Dyunk continues his nauseating commentary, they raise their chins higher and do their best to maintain cold, detached expressions. I'm looking for slaves for the gladiator fights in the arena. The demon chuckles quietly, every fold of flesh rippling. He answers, his voice so low that his slaves don't hear. Oh no, the rough and tumble of the arena is no good for my little pets. They are intended for a much more elegant slaughter. What were you arguing about with that demoness? She wanted to buy my beautiful Aasimar concubines for her palace of pleasures, the 10,000 delights. Unfortunately, her common sense and good taste couldn't compete with her greed. She offered me a paltry price, next to nothing, instead of gratefully paying the full sum for these slaves, offering 30,000 for a group of innocent, pure Aasimars shipped here with the utmost care. No one has laid a single finger on them. No one has taken a single bite out of them. It's simply outrageous. Who are you? I am Dyunk, the slave trainer. When I was younger and much slimmer, I was a dashing raider. I spent my days abducting concubines from other planes for the harems of the powerful lords of the abyss. My experience, however, has shown me that raising and training pleasure slaves from an early age is a much more profitable and much less risky business. That's why I now own the largest and most respectable slave farm, where I breed representatives of various races from different planes, though I haven't entirely given up the raiding. His deceptively slow movements and soft folds of flesh fail to hide the powerful muscles beneath. This demon could likely lift a wagon with 2 horses by himself. The Lich has no interest in the pleasure slaves. Again, he knows that slavery is the law of the land. He's not going to interfere with that. And therefore, he's not going to address the pleasure slaves either. But he will attempt to buy the Aasimar slaves, since he told the guy that that's what he would do. Oh, I see you're a connoisseur. I'd like to warn you that these little birds will cost you a pretty penny. Their price scared off the madam of the 10,000 delights, but for Shamira, to whom I intended to sell these fresh Aasimar beauties, 50,000 is spare change. I am willing to sell them to you for the same price. If we do not interfere, these women will be doomed by the celestial blood that flows in their veins. There's nothing more tantalizing for a demon than befouling, abusing, and destroying any being with ties to the upper planes. We have no right to stand by and leave these unfortunates to a terrible fate of torture and death. I don't have that kind of money right now. If you don't buy them, you'll regret it. They would have given you such pleasure. I'm sure Shamira will send for them very soon. Alright. Getting meta again. The Lich would, from a role-playing standpoint, prefer to purchase. You know what? No. Even though it's going to require me to go out of my way, the lawful thing to do is to come up with the coin and buy them. I really just want to kill this guy, free these slaves, and move on with the quest. But it is just too anti to the personality I set up for the Lich. So we're going to just let this go and have to circle back to it. I have to go. I'd be absolutely delighted to see you here again. Come back and we'll pick out the most delicate, graceful, and well-trained slaves for you. His tiny eyes, hiding in the folds of his flesh, intently study your figure. His tongue greedily licks his thick lips, revealing small but numerous sharp teeth. All right. All right, so, yikes. Here's another question, too. Is he aired out so badly that... let me do a quick test. All right, save. Now let's reload. I just want to make sure when I come back I can actually talk to the dude, or if he's aired out so badly that I won't even be able to click on him. Doop, 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 doop. 50,000 is nothing down here, so we can make the money back. I just hate having to come back. You got to backtrack enough in this area as it is. Okay, cool. They're all here. All right. So, athletics. Excellent. Got up here, no problem. This area is empty because we're not on the right mythic path for it to be filled. Stop moving around. There we go. Alright, nothing else over here. It's fine. Whether we fall down there, get there naturally, it's all good. As long as there's progress. Okay. We will, actually, we'll go back to the portal. And we'll transfer back. And then we'll continue past the house with the guy who asked us to pick up the slaves. Just have to do his quest later. How far am I away from 50k? Ooh, yeah, I'm a ways away. It's gonna take me a little while. It is what it is. All right, now, harm ardent dreams, and they keep mentioning the 10,000 delights. Let's go ahead and head there.
We do it my way.
Boom, 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 boom. Come on. I hate that. Clearly, we were not Stop. Come on, man. Clearly, we were not blocking that thing from being able to close, and yet it required us to, for whatever reason, be all the way back in order to get it to properly close. Don't understand. That's so weird. All right. No. Go back. Excellent. Okay. Now, if we go here, I think, is it this portal? Yes, okay, cool. So, undo that trap.
I am helpful.
I still have no idea how we're supposed to do the Lich part. The inhabitants of Alan Shinra seem to enjoy the abundance of lava around them. Demons are not immune to fire, but they just like to live close to such a destructive element. No idea how to move Lich forward, by the way.
I hope you appreciate
And, okay, got that stuff. Oh, it's probably the arena where I'll be able to make that extra money now that I think about it. Pretty sure the arena pays for you for fights that you win. And, alright, save here. And we'll go ahead and do that, do a little that, do a little that.
Well,
And, oh, let me not forget, turn on this. There we go, so that it actually activates this stuff. Mob leader, sure.
save the last one for
All
me.
right. What are you doing? Here. You could do that. What are you doing? That works. And the rest of you, hop to it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I see somebody's wisdom got hit. Got hit hard. All right. Picked up that. Yep, this is all useful. Hey! Thanatotic Titan's Minor Rune. A mysterious rune inscribed in the language of the Thanatotic Titans. I've never seen this before. The patch must have fixed it. Excellent. This belt of the venerated champion. This belt of Constitution +6 grants its wearer +2 bonus for fortitude saving throws and a +1 insight bonus to AC against evil creatures and effects. Not bad. All right. I think we have the rune. So now we just got to go back to those slots. I got to remember where those slots were. We'll figure that out at some point. Do I go straight into the 10,000 Delights? Yeah, sure. I'll go in here. You see a massive, beautifully decorated door. It appears impregnable. At eye level, an elegant inscription reads, 10,000 Delights. In smaller letters, another inscription reads, a gift from Valexia the Wonderful to Chivarro the Beautiful. Examine the door and figure out the best way to open it. Actually, no, try to open the door. The lock clicks and the door opens slightly. It speaks to you in a peevish voice. Welcome to the 10,000 Delights, dear guest. The madame has ordered me not to impede your journey. You can talk, but you're a door. Better a door than a dolt? The door giggles in the most vile way. Lady Valexia had a hand in my creation. After her arrest in the 10,000 Delights was disturbed by an overzealous admirer. She presented me to Madame Chivarro to keep out the rabble. Mr. Door, sir, may I ask you a few questions? I am interested in your expert opinion. How do you feel about the political and social situation in Alan Shinra? Same old, same old. We have more and more beggars in the back alleys and fewer clients in the brothel. Shamira struts around the city like a princess, nose in the air, demanding that red carpets be unrolled wherever she deigns to step. Meanwhile, Nocticula is holed up in her palace and doesn't seem to give a rat's ass about the hardships of the working class. The door utters what sounds like a heavy sigh. In short, life is shit. Thank you, Mr. Door. Nanio turns to you. His thought processes align with those of the lower classes, while his internal support of the status quo and love of gossip demonstrate his natural aptitude for gatekeeping. From this, we can conclude this is not an artificially created golem, but a living individual transformed into a door. I'm going to... You shouldn't even exist. This is wrong. This should never happen. This cursed dark magic. It's too dangerous. Go through the door. Enjoy yourself, dear guest. You hear longing and envy in the door's bored voice. That's actually the first time I've experienced that. All the other times I had to unlock it. I wonder why I was able to just walk in.
I'm off.
Okay, we've got a portal right over here. And something lit up over here. Something lit up over here. Oh, I've really got to go through the books in my inventory. There's a guy called Rockhorn here, but I'm pretty sure I know what that's about. Boom, 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 boom. An attractive Lilitu in a simple but revealing dress greets you with a warm smile. Her eyeless face is serene. A new guest. We're always happy to welcome guests to the 10,000 Delights. I am Chivarro, ruler of this palace of pleasure. The only taboos here are brawling, moderation, and talking politics. Aside from that, anything goes. As my guest, you can expect to receive gentle caresses, or, if you prefer, wild and untamed ones. I have servants of every type to suit every taste. Any of them can be yours for a night, or forever, if your pockets are deep enough. What are your preferences? Never mind. I'll find out for myself. The Lilitu tilts her head to one side, as if studying you with her non-existent eyes. Failed a will check. That doesn't bode well. Okay, interesting. I don't have a terrible will score, but still. You feel warm. Gentle hands seem to touch your consciousness. They neatly separate thoughts from memories, feelings from emotions. Occasionally, images of long past or recent events drift through your mind. A Golarion? I see. Yes, and the commander of the Crusade, no less. What fascinating memories you have. Ah, and now you've been properly introduced. You're not offended, are you? The little two gives a deep, pleasant laugh, but her voice trembles with inexplicable excitement. Don't you dare pry into my mind ever again. The little two answers defiantly. Or else what? You'll hit me? You can try, but you are my guest here. You don't call the shots. I do. I'm looking for the Spinner of Nightmares. Do you know her? Yes, she lived here for a long time. She owns several rooms, the Den of Sweet Horrors, she called them. You could easily find them. Just look for a bunch of crazy, drugged-up cultists. Those degenerates were the Spinner's entourage. When she left the 10,000 Delights, she left them here so we could entertain ourselves with them. I'm looking for a companion for the night. Your vision dims and your thoughts become slow and sluggish. Your thoughts are flooded with a wave of heat. The little two nods in concentration. What interesting thoughts you have. What an unusual mortal you are. Well, that's a stroke of luck. It just so happens I need someone like you. Slow down, my sweet. If you seek tender pleasures here, it'll cost more than gold. We need to be friends first, and all it takes to become friends is for you to do a little favor for me. I want you to kill someone for me. A brazen gang of demons keeps harassing my girls, attacking them on the street and dragging them back to their lair in the lower city, a foul den called the Rotten Guttery. Spill their blood, rescue my girls, and come back here for your reward. The words of this fiend sound sweet, but what lurks behind them? Lust, a desire to use you, something even more insidious. I sense danger here, like the reek of decay near a crypt, faint but clear. Beware this trap, champion. You won't let my girls die in the clutches of these monsters, will you? The demoness smiles enticingly. You are so confident and have such potential. I think you and I will enjoy being friends. I like you. Perhaps we can spend the night together. Interest flickers on the little two's face, but her answer is brusque. I take it you're used to people falling into your arms? Don't expect it of me. My favor must be won, but you seem entirely capable of it. I have a few questions for you. The demoness smiles mysteriously. Are you interested in me or in my establishment? I want to know more about this place. Some are foolish enough to call this place a brothel, but that's a facile misrepresentation. The 10,000 Delights is a pleasure palace for every taste. You'll find everything that brings pleasure here. Wine, sex, music, good company, violence, gossip, stories, drugs, every kind of drug, herbal, alchemical, even telepathic, and many things that seem incomprehensible to us, but are very popular on other planes. You are seeing but a small part of the 10,000 Delights. Behind these inconspicuous doors lie entire streets, houses and rooms, a veritable labyrinth of pleasure. No one knows how large this place really is. Anyone who attempts to measure it returns weeks later, exhausted and happy, and somehow changed from when they left. After all, no matter who you are, no matter what your predilections, in the 10,000 Delights, you will find the room where you will be fully satisfied. I wish I could see what this fiend would say if she met Arshia, the luminous lord of freedom, beauty, and sincere physical intimacy. The Abyss offers a distorted reflection of everything we value in the upper planes, even physical attraction, beauty, and love. So even though we're a lawful character, more importantly, we are a follower of Urgathoa. We are absolutely all about the fun. So we're going to go with the chaotic option. This place looks really fun. The Lilitu smiles smugly. Glad you like it, honey. Tell me your story. The demoness answers with melodious laughter. I have secrets I would rather not reveal, and without them my story would be as insipid as sex without violence. After a moment's hesitation, the Lilitu adds with a smile, I was once wild and dangerous. I manipulated others to destroy them, not subdue them. But then I met someone. That meeting changed everything. It sparked my hunger. I wanted to stand for something, to rise above the crowd, to become important, influential. It turned out that not only can I create bloody chaos, but I can tame wild whirlwinds of chaos, shape and direct them. And none of that would have happened but for that chance encounter. You are a skilled mind reader. The Lilitu gives you a smug smile. It is my calling to read others' thoughts and motives, plant ideas in their minds, tempt them, and guide them. But yes, you are correct. I am unusually skilled, even by the standards of my kind. With a playful bow of her head, the Lilitu smiles. Have you heard that old saying, why don't Lilitus have eyes? Because eyes are the windows to the soul, and no one can gaze into the soul of a Lilitu. I understand everything. With a mysterious smile, the Lilitu nods at you. I'm leaving. See you soon, honey. Come back again, and we'll have some fun. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yet more quests to get into.
I am helpful.
And nothing there. All right, I think that's enough for one day. Hope all of you enjoyed the episode today. If you did, please leave me a like down below, share this content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.